Hey everybody, welcome back to Steve Jackson Games Live. I'm Jimmy, and today I've got Randy with me.
Hello.
And today we're going to be playing a game of Knightmare Chess. So if you are not familiar with it, we've just reprinted this game. It is the game of chaos on the chessboard. So basically, we're going to be playing a normal game of chess, but mixed into that, we're all going to have some cards here that are going to let us do a lot of crazy, wacky things with the chessboard. We are playing this today because we've just reprinted this, both Nightmare Chess 1 and 2. They were originally base game and expansion. We've combined them together.
That's all in that box
All
now.
in the one big box now. And that is available now in Warehouse 23. But what we've also got is a Kickstarter running for just a little bit longer. I think another day or so. Brandon's going to have the link for you down there. But it's going to have a booklet, either in PDF or physical form, depending on reward level you choose, that's got a bunch of articles that we produced over the years and variant play modes and other ways to play and use this game with your game of chess. So that's going to be on Kickstarter, where it's going pretty well right now. It's going for another day, I think, maybe 2 days.
And there's, the box contains 158 cards. You can see Jimmy and I each have cards already.
5 more days.
5 more days. And this is the deck we're both pulling from for this, the one we're playing that variant.
Yeah, we're probably a variant of the game where we just share a common deck. The cards, we throw a card up here so you can kind of see what we're looking at down here. The cards look like this, so they've all got A, great art on them, but B, they have an effect that's going to happen, and they've got over here in the corner you see a point value. So the way you normally play this game is everybody builds their own deck with 150 points worth of cards. So you can kind of build a strategy into your deck to play against the other player. Usually you'll split the deck half and half, build 150 points of cards, or more or less if you want to change up how the game plays exactly. You can handicap people or whatever by doing different point values and play the game that way. Just to make things go a little quicker. We're just playing out of a common deck, so we just have 5 cards at any given time in our hand. Whenever we play one, we're going to draw a new one. That's one of the variants in the back of the base book. There's going to be a lot more variants and other ways to play in the Kickstarter project. That's going to be all the collected articles and stuff we put out over the years for this game.
No matter which way you play it, you're going to need a chessboard. This board, these pieces, this stuff we're using aside from the cards, does not come in this box magically. You're going to have to supply your own board and pieces.
Speaking of pieces, we'll probably want a couple extra pieces for a couple of things here. So I'm going to grab...
Some of the cards have you basically mutate a piece, it becomes something else, and you need to mark it in some way.
So we'll get a few markers here.
Now, Jimmy and I are not chess professionals.
So we'll probably make you cringe at a couple of things that we do.
But you don't have to be to play this game.
You're saying you're not chess scientists?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Basically, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to know how the pieces move and what they're called. This game would get real hard if you don't know that this is a rook, this is a knight, this is a bishop, this is a queen, these are pawns. You need to know what each piece is named and how it would normally move.
But beyond that, that's all you really need to know. And one of the things that I do like about this game is because of all the chaos and wackiness you're about to see from these cards, it does kind of even the playing field with people who have been playing chess, who may be more experienced in chess, and people who are being more casual about it. Now, it's not going to let a novice take on a grandmaster, but if someone's got quite a bit of experience playing chess, they're going to be used to they may even know certain strategies and stuff. Those are going to be completely off because none of the chess strategies that are out there that have been like in whatever Netflix series or whatever books that you've seen account for walls being erected on the playing field, pieces blowing up and taking things out next to them, or the board rotating 90 degrees. So there's all sorts of stuff that's just going to throw off your standard chess strategies. So it's more about knowing the basics and being adaptable and being creative.
Or constructing a solid deck that works well together and has some backup plans in it. I mean, depending on what you're playing.
Yeah. Like your first game, you'll probably do something like we're doing here, which is just play the straight off the deck version, the shared deck. But once you have a little more experience, you'll go, oh, you know what I really want to try? I like this and this. I want to try those together. And you may start in the constructed builds.
You ready to sling some cards, Jimmy?
I think so. Let's see if we got anything in chat here yet. No, just a lot of people saying hello and tuning in. All right, cool. All right. Well, I believe white goes first. So
All
you
right.
are leading us off today.
I am leading us off. So a lot of these cards, every card is going to tell me when I can use it. I can play one card on my turn and I can play one card on Jimmy's turn, provided those cards allow me to play it at those times. I don't need to do a lot of this stuff at the beginning.
Yeah, and you don't have to play a card. You may play a card on one card on your turn and one card on your opponent's turn.
So I'm going to just go ahead and do, let's see, just a good old get them out of the park. Just gonna move our pawn forward.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and we'll do the same thing there.
What's your problem, guy? I'm going to move this pawn forward, and then I'm going to play a card. This card is called Crab. What it's going to do, we're going to need one of those sweet, sweet markers. I need a white marker. Basically, after I move a piece, one of my pawns, if I've read this right, I'm going to mark this pawn, and from now on it moves and captures diagonally.
Okay, so single space diagonally.
Yeah, it moves. It's like a teeny tiny queen that can only go one space. Actually,
Bishop.
it can't move forward, so it's a
Bishop.
bishop.
Yeah.
And it, if it ever makes it to the back line, it stops being the pawn crab and
promotes
turns into
normally.
Yeah, promotes normally.
All right.
I've got 4 cards now. I need to draw a card because you always go back up to 5.
We'll leave that. It's a continuing card, so we'll leave that one out so you
Yeah.
can remember, re-reference it if you need to. All right, so it only goes diagonally. Let's go ahead and move up here.
Look at this guy. Row. That's what I'm at. We're going to move right there.
All right. Well, let's see if we can make this a short game. I don't think we can, but
Totally possible.
check.
Totally possible. This clown.
No, it's a bishop. I know it's been a while since I played. I don't know if there's a clown card in here. There might be.
Might be.
Any critiques of our playing so far?
Some suggestions to use munchkin pawns as a chess.
Oh, hey Jimmy.
Yeah.
Play this card after your opponent moves a rook, a bishop, or a queen.
Uh-oh.
2 squares or more. His piece cannot make the planned move. It stops after moving 1 square in the chosen direction. Why don't you not do that?
So
Nobody
let me go and
liked
throw that
it.
up so people can see.
Nobody
it.
liked it. Just cease and desist.
Wow.
I will
Oh.
draw a new card.
So my bishop instead just moves that 1 square.
It's a
and then
crab
gets
for this
stuck.
turn.
He gets stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That was Jimmy's turn.
That was my turn.
I'm going to go ahead and offer him the opportunity to do it again. You just get on out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally going to lose this game. I haven't played much chess. I know how to play. I learned it.
It's been a while.
It never grabbed me. I love fantasy games. I love thinking deep into games. And chess always struck me as how much can you memorize? How many, memorize all this stuff. And there was a lot going on. And thinking 10 moves ahead, I could do in a lot of games. But for some reason in chess, it just never grabbed me.
Did you ever get into Go?
I've played a little bit of Go, but no. We played Othello when I was a kid. Probably because that's what we had.
Let's go there. Just move that one up.
Okay. Right, we're going to save that.
Well, Paul's even got to work out which Munchkin pawns used for which pieces, because apparently we've made enough to do it all.
I am going to move up. Yeah.
Okay.
Now there's ways to discard cards. That is my turn, Jimmy.
Yeah, if you don't play a card on your turn, then you can instead discard a card and draw a new one.
The same if you don't play one on your opponent's turn.
I think it's just yours. In this
Is
round.
it?
I could be wrong. Could be wrong.
The rules are available out there in the world, so somebody's...
Also available right here. Common deck. Oh no! In the common deck variant, you can do it on both your turn and the opponent's turn.
Aha! I did
You're
read
correct.
correctly.
You're right.
It happens sometimes.
All right. So my turn, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and move a knight up here.
Mm-hmm. 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 That's true.
I'm good. What was that one?
I moved the pawn in front of
Okay,
the king
got it,
forward
got
one.
it, got it. Move that one up. I love the art on these cards. One of the things about this set is this game in general. It's just the art is just really good across the board. It's got a very kind of dark fantasy feel to it in a lot of cases. But the colors and everything are just really good across the board.
Sorry, Jimmy. I was contemplating. Oh, chess. I can understand why this game came to existence when there was no television and radio. There's a lot of time to just sit there and think. Let's just move that one forward. Yeah. So I think the last time we reprinted this, we had it for demo at Gen Con. So I was out of one of the dice tables up front one day, showing it off and running demos. People tell them, what the game was about and everything. And guy comes up and starts, picks up the cards and starts looking through them because the art is a draw. And so I start giving them the 30-second rundown on how the game works, and he's nodding and asks something about how does it play, and going through it and talking about it and talking about the art because that's obviously what he's interested in, and the gameplay, giving him the rundown on the gameplay about a minute or so, and then he says, "Oh yeah, I'm Bruno." And I said, "Oh, hi Bruno, how you doing?" And then he clarifies with his full name, which is the designer of the original version of the game. He was there just looking at the current printing, but he let me go on for a minute describing his own game to him. Bruno, you already knew how to play it, so why you just let me do this?
He was there for a meeting. but he wanted to see it.
Moving our knight, our king's knight over.
So it's always a good moment when you sit there and
Thanks, Bruno. I
oh, thanks. You let me
appreciate it. Look
explain
like a
your game
jerk
to
in front of
you.
all these people. It's just me here. Bruno, don't correct me a second time.
Let's go there. I am still good.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, you did. We're gonna move this queen forward one space. Gotta read the cards like over and over.
Wait, because you get wrapped up in this, and you're like, wait, what do I do again? What does this one do again? Oh, wait, okay,
And then I'm gonna play a card because I can.
okay.
We're gonna play. Yeah, let's play it no matter what, even if it's a bad idea. Anathema. Swap the position of a bishop and a rook belonging to your opponent. I think that both of your bishops could be in the same color scheme, and it wouldn't make me too sad. Can I get this swapped with? No. Yes, do that. That good. Discarded. Draw a card, Randy.
Make sure you get 5. All right.
Uh-huh. We'll hold on to that.
We're gonna go here.
I believe you will.
I'm gonna take that pawn.
A delicate move. Delicacy. Look at this.
I'm going to play a card. Hostage. Play this card when your opponent captures one of your pieces. Choose one of your pawns to be captured instead. Return your original capture piece to the board in that pawn square. So, rather than my knight, we will give you this pawn as a hostage.
He won't be coming home. Terrible hostage situation.
And draw a card.
What's your favorite chess memory?
Favorite chess memory? I don't know that. Like probably the one I just told about the convention, honestly, because that's a very memorable one of kind of getting tossed under the bus there a little bit. Well, since you wanted this bishop here,
Oh, you do that before you move. You play the card before you
I
move.
played that after you captured a piece. That was on your turn.
Got it.
So on my turn, we're going to go ahead and move this bishop up here.
There's a bishop. It is moving. A lot of bishops doing bishop stuff up there.
All right, I think that's good for me for now. Paul says his favorite chess memory was slogging a VAX 11780 by playing chess at the max CPU usage. So bogging down an old VAX computer system, running chess on it.
Let's see. I may play a card here.
Okay.
In fact, I feel I will. We're going to play cards called Siege. Swap the position of one of your knights and one of your rooks. Siege. Draw a card, bringing my hand back up to 5. Oh.
All right, what do we have now? After my move. I don't want to do that after my move. I want to do that before my move.
Well, that'd be just a mess I could create for Jimmy there.
Some of these cards do just kind of create a mess. The chaos is the idea of some of them.
A Garbo board position.
All right, let's see here. Do that,
Yes, you do.
or do I want to not lose that bishop? I think we've already got one hostage over there. I think maybe we want to not lose that bishop instead. So we'll just go ahead and go back on over here. Preach to your guys over in the corner.
Preach. I see. All right, I don't know if this is going to be good or bad. Man, he could just go cause problems. Why wouldn't I send him to go cause problems? That's like...
Yeah, Paul. Elevating your own chess process instead of whatever else is supposed to be running on that computer is probably not the best call. I can see why the admin might have been less than happy with you on that one.
Okay. That's real interesting, so
I'm unhappy just hearing about it.
We're going to play a card called Disintegration.
Oh dear. That doesn't sound good for me.
Remove one of your own pawns from the chessboard and set it aside. It is now dead and cannot be brought back into play with another card.
Okay.
Play this card immediately before or after your move. I'm sorry, little one. you have left the game.
All right.
This has
And,
been used.
and for that, what do you get?
I get this. I'm gonna go over and take this little bishop here out of the way.
Ah, I see. I see.
I'm gonna draw a card because that's how we do.
Because that's what's supposed to happen.
What's that, Jimmy? My favorite chess memory?
Happened about 5 seconds ago.
No, I guess it was learning games with my brother, my older brother. Not that I have a younger one. Neither of us really loved chess, but it was like going through the stuff in the house, like that developmental age where these things have been laying around and you've just never touched them. And then it's, oh, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? Have we tried this? It got me towards the bookshelves where I found a love of reading and other things like that. But the two of us playing chess, not really understanding it, being kind of out of my element was interesting and fun and interesting. All right, so that's not something I enjoy particularly.
And then let's just go ahead and mix things up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
If that's not the card I thought. That one. New tactics. Regular and capturing moves for all pawns are switched. The pawn now moves diagonally into an empty square, or 2 squares on the same or opposite diagonals for its first move, but it can take the piece in front of it. So they move diagonally and capture straight ahead now.
Forever?
Until that card is replaced with another new tactics card. Pawns now, yeah.
So my crab is now a weirdo because he can't capture forward.
Right. He moves like everyone else.
He moves like everyone else, but he captures in that direction too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I need to draw a card to replace it.
What kind of a mess can I make over here? I think I just need to give Jimmy things to do. Yeah, I think it's time to give Jimmy things to do. Check.
All right. I believe I've only got one move that moves me out of check there.
I believe so as well. Could be wrong.
So we will go ahead and take that one move.
Yes, we will. Now, it's to my knowledge that the king can't take the piece that puts it in check. Is that correct?
Don't think that's the case.
Chat, help me out here. Can the king attack the piece that has it in check?
But also, I'm not done.
Oh.
Forbidden City. Place a marker in any unoccupied square. No piece can enter that square. Move through it or pass through it for the rest of the game. Knights and jumping pieces may move over it.
Okay.
Now it's your turn.
Oh, it is my turn.
Hello, Sam Crow Wife, and Paul's Pledged, and thanks for the reminder. The Kickstarter made me look for and score a sealed copy of the original cardboard 6-player tile chess. Nice. It's another one of our chess variant games. That one doesn't actually have a board. You build the board as you play. Facebook says they do not believe you're correct on that, Randy.
Totally possible, as I said.
So
My chess expertise is a scotch limited.
this continuing effect down here so I remember it.
Let's look at these sweet cards. Is there anything great that's gonna...
Totally make everything different.
Yeah. It's just real weird. I guess.
And so you can see, if you're just joining us, like what I was talking about earlier is you can know all the chess strategy you want, but when suddenly your pawns move the opposite way they're supposed to, and there's
Yeah.
impassable spaces on the board, and things teleport around,
It gives you this...
it's suddenly you can't plan 7 moves out anymore because you don't know what the rules are going to be in 2 turns from now.
Well, it's easy to forget as well.
It's part of what I like about this. It becomes a more reactive game than a long-term planning game. You can kind of plan a couple turns out, but you don't want to invest too much time in that because you're probably going to have to reevaluate quickly.
Sorry, I've been... Well, that'd be a thing, right?
Seems like it makes it a lot more tactical instead
Yeah.
of strategic.
Yeah. You have to be much more invested in the next move or two than the long-term strategy because unless you're building, if you're doing the constructed game, you may have a more clear idea of your long-term strategy because you know what you're likely to draw, but you don't necessarily know what your opponent's bringing to the table at that point.
Check.
All right. Can I do anything with these things? No. Maybe. Don't really wanna. Oh. All right, let's try this one. Instead of my movement,
I'm listening.
the card's called Medusa.
Mhm.
One of your opponent's pieces, except the king or queen, turns to stone. Nothing can move it. It can only be captured with his permission. They may veto any move. You may make a new move instead, or ignore any instruction on a card that would remove it from play. So this
That's a lot of information. Please be a pawn. Please be a pawn. Please be a pawn. Not a pawn.
that is now a nice stone pillar, like it looks like. It's not going anywhere.
So what can't be done to that?
It cannot be moved.
It can't be moved.
I cannot take it. No, none of my moves and no card can remove it from the game unless you allow it. So if I make a move to take it, you can say no, make another move, or you can say okay. So basically, you have to approve that being removed from the board now, but otherwise, it is just there.
Aha. Aha. That is a big rules question that I don't want to open the can on right now. So I'm gonna leave that. Yuck. That is just all the whole world says what? That's a mess. All right. Let's make Jimmy's life miserable in some other way then. I'll tell everybody what that was at some more interesting time.
Now the discards here, so people can kind of see the art on them a little bit. Never mind, they're out of frame.
Yuck, 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 yuck. Okay, just for interesting sake and to keep the game moving. The world is round.
Uh-oh.
On this move, one of your pieces can make an otherwise legal move as if the left and right edges of the chessboard were connected. That is, as if the chessboard were a cylinder. A pawn which reaches the 8th rank by this move may be promoted.
So you're Pac-Manning it, basically.
Yeah, but only left and right.
Yeah.
However,
It'd be nice. I'm just gonna back off the back end.
this queen's gonna leave and come up over here.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
The world is round.
It was just for this move?
Yeah. Draw a card.
Yeah. We'll throw that up here. So you can see it. Bump this. Reset right here. Okay. Well then, let's let's go ahead and we're going to move this knight up here, I believe. And then we will play a card called Fatal Attraction. Choose one of your pieces to become a magnet. Until it moves or is captured, no piece of any color except kings in the 8 adjacent squares can move. Piece can pass through those squares without effect, but one that stops there, whether or not it makes a capture, becomes trapped. Play this card immediately after your move. So one of my pieces basically becomes a trap, and anything adjacent to it is now permanently there until that piece moves or is captured. We're going to make out this pawn right here.
Isn't that queen capable of taking that piece then?
If she could move.
So basically, my pieces just stop moving on the board.
Any piece that's adjacent to this one, in those spaces, now can no longer move. Something can come from outside in and take it out, and that would free everything up. But until that time, those pieces are stuck there.
Well, I ain't got any of those cards. I'm gonna.
And then I will draw a card.
It's your turn. I am not going to play this
Oh,
non-conformist card.
that was my turn.
On your
on
turn,
my turn.
since I did not play a card, I'm going to discard this
Oh.
card, which has one of your pawns moving backwards, which I don't really need right now.
Ah. Interesting.
Okay.
So I saw it announced at NordCon that GRU was coming back. Any info on when and where? It's going to be part of a upcoming crowdfunding project that's going to involve GRU and WizWar, and I forget the third game off the top of my head, even though I just edited that video the other day. But it's going to be an upcoming Kickstarter for a few of our old games that are coming back to print. I believe this year, but I don't know the exact timing on that. Hello, Compass Rose. Yeah, round, flat. It was more cylinder than round, so it's round in one dimension.
Yes.
It would it's not
round.
spherical, but flat and round at the same time, sort of.
Better than being round in 4 dimensions.
True, maybe. I'm not sure.
Gosh.
Well, Robbie, you can dig through your cards to find it again, or you can go ahead and get a new copy on Warehouse 23, or back the Kickstarter right now. That's going to give you a booklet that's a collection of all the articles and variants and stuff we published on the Knightmare Chess. So you want to go ahead, and you can get, if you do find your cards, you can back the Kickstarter at a level that just gets you that book of articles and such. There'll be links down here. If you scroll up or wait till the end, we'll go and put them out there. Or Brandon just reposted it for us. So you can go there and get all the collected articles we have put together and done over the years for this game, and various new ways to play it and more ways to use the cards and such.
I moved my bishop
Who's the
from
bishop?
there.
Okay.
I'm not going to use this card, but it would have been very interesting.
Do you want to show it off still?
So I'm going to discard it on my turn. Yeah, because of rules questions that I don't want to dig at. I would have made this piece my king and then just declined to have you ever able to capture it. And it never has to move. And then my king becomes a prince and just wanders around the board. I don't want to dig into those rules questions. I am almost certain that you can't do that. Something about it is a no-no.
I'm pretty sure the card that transformed that said king was not an option.
Mm-hmm. You won't.
Yeah, except the king or queen. So I don't know. That would have been
It's already
the rules to figure out.
transformed,
Yep.
and it's still a rook standing there.
That would have been
However.
a question, yeah. All right. What does this one do? Well, we'll hang on to that one. That will be confusing.
I have to read.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and move this knight here and have a crab dinner.
Mm-hmm. He's a weirdo anyway now. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I think we're going to save that one for later, so I'm done.
I'm going to go ahead and move this knight and have a knight dinner. from there,
From where did he come from?
from this space over
Okay.
to there. Basically, I don't like you eating my crab, so we're gonna eat horse, which
it.
seems wrong.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
I
if
won. I
you're
think I won on
hungry-
that one.
If you're hungry, I mean, I fed a lot more people, but yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and move this rook over here.
Interesting movement.
All right. I am going to play Insubstantiality. Choose any piece on the board to become insubstantial during my next move. I may move through the piece, but I may not end a move in its square even to capture it. The insubstantial piece may not move. This is just for my move.
Mm-hmm.
This knight is going to be insubstantial. And we're going to go right.
Didn't it say
there.
you can't capture a piece?
No, it said I can't capture this piece. I can't end my move in this pieces.
Read me again.
You can move through this piece, but you may not end a move in its square even to capture it.
Well, there you go. That's going to be relatively difficult. I'm going to discard this one because I think it gives you as much of an advantage as me.
Okay.
It basically says I'm going to take your turn and you're going to take mine.
Oh,
I really don't want to do that.
we're not playing this one, but double agents. Could be some wackiness with that for sure. Was that in? Oh, you're not playing that card.
I'm not
so
playing that card.
Still.
Jimmy, at a certain point here, when none of my pieces function anymore,
Right.
because they either can't move I guess. Yeah, you've essentially played two cards that just destroy pieces of mine, which is pretty good. I'm running out of cards that do neat things.
I've got cards that do neat things. I don't know if they're good things, but they do neat things. Like there's one I'm gonna have to play.
So
I don't know if it's gonna be advantageous, but I'm gonna have to play it.
let's just go ahead and take that one.
Okay. I don't like that.
It's just fine.
Yeah.
I really like this set. Because it's like checkers and backgammons and everything in it. I gotta find one for the house. I haven't played enough.
Yeah,
Classic
a good
games.
classic multi-set of like all your standard grid-based strategy.
I'm trying to
games.
minimize what I have at the house so that I don't just fill it up with everything in the world.
Let's go ahead and go here.
Yeah, you did.
And I think we're gonna hang on to these for now. So Go ahead. Uh-huh.
Really? There's a lot of that when you're playing this, where you
Like, wait, what would that do now?
read it and go, what? That messes everything up. Okay.
Okay, well, I've been forgetting something, so let's go ahead and do this. This pawn will capture that pawn.
Yeah, it did.
And then we will play Dungeon. Choose one of your opponent's pieces, except a king, and move it to any unoccupied corner of the chessboard. Your opponent cannot move this piece on his following turn. Play immediately after your move. So we're going to throw this bishop in the dungeon over there.
What? And it can't move?
It can't move on your next turn.
So your pieces, wow. If your cards just say, kill my cards, it makes this difficult. Now, we can't play cards that put the other person in check, right? Well, we can't put them in checkmate. We can put them in check.
You can put them in check. You cannot get checkmate through use of a card. There are a couple clarifications on that. So basically, no regular card can directly cause a checkmate situation, or the capture of a king. And you can't use the card that you played before the move to. You can't use a card that like moves stuff around before your move to put the king in check with that, and then take a move to check the king or to checkmate the king.
Right. They have to have the chance to walk out of it. Sort of. On your turn, I'm going to discard this because I didn't play a card. We can read it. It's
Forced march. Move one of your two pawns sideways in either direction, one square each. One or two of your pawns sideways in either direction, one square each. So you do that instead of your normal turn. But we're not playing that. We're just showing it off.
well, that's a real good card. It doesn't really help me here.
Could be an interesting one.
I don't know that I can win now.
You still got pieces.
I do. They just no longer function. Half of them are turned off, and then anything I could get them off the board with is gone. So,
Yeah, sometimes it's about stalling until another strategy reveals itself, or another wacky card reveals itself.
having my pieces absent sucks.
That one can't be moved this turn.
Oh, that's right. That was my issue. It was that all of my pieces can't move. Shoost. Yuck. I don't like any move I have. I think it's almost done.
I got an idea to shake some things up next turn, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So I'm, of course, going to make this move here.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to play Earthquake. Turn the chessboard at right angles, clockwise or counterclockwise. Pawns still move away from their owner. Any pawn in the new last rank is promoted, your opponent promoting first. Any pawn in its new first rank can move 1 or 2 squares forward. Play this immediately after your move. So what that means is this is now our board. Still moving the same directions as before. You have gotten a pawn to the last rank. You may promote it.
It's a queen.
Do you have any other? Oh wait, the drawer moved. It's like any other piece of,
All
wait,
of our pieces took a walk. We've got more in here.
This is now a.
Ooh,
Wait, this
This is over there.
it was over there,
Mm-hmm.
and same thing.
There's more in that drawer right there.
This one is now also a queen. And this is the movement direction now.
Okay.
So that's my turn.
My queen is going to take this Garbo piece.
So the fatal attraction is now gone. Those pieces are now free to move.
Mm-hmm. I assume this is a queen.
That is a queen, yes. Oh, it's a shame I can only play one card a turn.
There's been a couple of those where I'm like, well, if I could just play everything, we're good.
The one I drew after that one allowed me to dictate what your next promotion was.
No. I don't think there's going to be too many more promotions.
Probably not. All right, so that's backwards now. Suddenly, I've got two queens back here that can move. I didn't think that through, did I?
Kind of a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
It did shake up the board.
Yeah.
I don't think it shook it up in a good way, but I can't. Now I can see a way I can win, and I could not before.
Well, let's do this. Instead of making a move, make sure I'm not making any large mistakes doing this.
Let me get this straight. You're going to just freeze all of my pieces in place.
Nope. It's called Hidden Passage. Move your king to any unoccupied square on the chessboard.
Okay.
So he is going to get out of here.
Probably for the best.
And go over here with the new royalty.
That's true.
And then draw a card, and that is my turn. Well, I like the name of that card. What does it do? What does Scorched Earth do? Oh. Can I play that?
Check.
Oh, I can't even play that. That's a shame. Well, I'll discard this on your turn, since
Okay,
I
makes
won't be
good
able
sense.
to use it. But it was going to be interesting. Scorched Earth. Play this card when your opponent has at least 4 pawns left. The first player to lose all their pawns loses the game.
I don't have 4 pawns left.
I know, but
You don't have 4 pawns left.
suddenly alternate victory condition is interesting. Again, so game can completely get turned on its head by quickly having an entirely different victory condition that you may be set up very poorly for.
Yeah.
I'll draw something to replace that. We got that card. Well, interesting.
That looks like a good one if you were building your deck.
There's a lot of these that are, I can do some nonsense and just cause chaos, and it's the synergy one turn after another could be there. It is the reason I feel you can't play multiple cards in the same turn as well.
Oh yeah. No,
There's some of
the
this
combo ability is way too high to allow more than one
Yeah.
card a turn on this. So I'm in check.
You are in check.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like you can't get out of it,
Sure.
but
So that's the. Then it should be okay. Okay, we will do that.
yeah, you will. Look at that. I have no problem with that.
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
There are still cards.
The pawns still capture.
The
Yeah,
pawns
they're-
capture.
They capture
orthogonally.
forward.
They move diagonally.
Yeah. Capture
So,
orthogonally.
so yeah, it's not moving into check. Oh, accept. Okay. I will play challenge. Choose a type of piece except a king or a queen. On their next turn, your opponent must move a piece of that type or lose their turn. You may not name a piece your opponent does not possess or cannot legally move. Bishop.
I can't legally move my bishop or it'll put me in check, so you cannot choose a bishop.
Oh. And that's a queen, and that's a queen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pawn. And those are knights.
I don't think that's your card to play. It's
could,
possible.
I could go with pawn.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically, yeah, you can do this.
Question: Do I want to go with that?
I think it's the best. If you're
think
going to
it's
use that card, it's a great move.
Well,
It essentially
I played the card, so
it essentially steals another turn from
Yeah.
me by forcing my pieces not to move. By
we'll choose pawn.
Yeah.
So your one pawn must move.
my one pawn must move. It is not the piece I ever want to move.
It is in its. Oh, it's not in its first
It's
rank
got to
anymore.
go there.
Yeah. I was like, it can move too, but no, it's actually one position out of the first rank.
Because I have to. Hold on a second. Yeah, I already moved my fingers off of it. Let me just see.
All right, well,
Nope.
this is a friendly game, and we're having to backtrack a lot of stuff to make sure it's all right. So I'm not going to be.
Let me.
Looks like someone's going to get pawned. Paul, that's bad. That's bad. Any free shipping promo codes for the website for us poor people? We have free shipping over certain amounts on the warehouse. So if you go to the warehouse's Warehouse 23's page on the shipping FAQ, they've got the levels that you can hit, so you can combine things to get free shipping. So there's technically always a way to get it. You just have to combine your orders up, basically.
Because Jimmy has screwed up my turn anyway, this just says that on this turn I have to move.
You have to move the. It says that you must move a piece of that type or lose your turn.
Or lose your turn.
As long as the card moves a piece of that type.
Hurricane.
Move?
Play this card on your turn instead of making a regular move.
Okay.
Choose which way the wind blows, right or left.
Okay.
Move as many pieces as you want, one at a time, one square in that direction, to squares that are vacant at the moment they move. You must move the same number of your own pieces and your opponent's pieces may not be blown off the board.
Okay. So as long as that pawn moves, I think it's fair to say, sure, that works.
Some pieces are traveling.
Right.
1, 2.
For 1-1. Okay.
1-1. This piece cannot be moved by anything, right?
Medusa. I accidentally shuffled that in. Let me find it here. I believe that is correct. Medusa. Nothing can move it.
Nothing can move it. All right. We're going to go 1, 1. The pawn has moved.
Got it.
A my piece and your piece.
Mm-hmm.
One again.
Okay.
This would put you in check.
It can move a piece multiple times? Or it doesn't say
It doesn't
can't?
say it can't.
All right. I see that while you'll
Yes.
ponder.
Well, I make this. We'd have to go to the video to see what we have to undo.
How many pieces you want? One at a time, one square in that direction. Maybe a piece can't go more than one, but it's not clear. That's probably a go to the FAQ and look it up later. For now, sure.
Sure.
Official rulings, I would say go look that up in the FAQ to see if we've clarified that in any of the articles or anything. I can see maybe a ruling that no piece can move more than one space because I was like, well, I'm going to move your piece all the way across the board and all of mine won. Probably not the intent.
And then we'll go 1, 1.
Okay.
Is that it? And we'll do that for now. 'Tis my move.
Okay.
I have a chance.
So I'm currently in check.
You are currently in check.
Okay.
It's so
That doesn't
weird.
That one doesn't take me out of check.
It's so weird.
I'm actually in check from 2 pieces.
Yes, you are.
The bishop and the knight.
Simply destroying one won't do it. You have to.
Yeah, I've got to actually get out of
You
it.
got to move.
Okay. That will not get me out of check. That will definitely not get me out of check. So that card's not useful right now. All right, so I think what we have to do the king has to move himself. One space there would be out of check. That would be out of check. Briefly. Which is all you need, but briefly. That would not be out of check. That would be out of check. All right. Well, let's do it like this. King will take that pawn out.
Sure did.
Which takes him out of check. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. I will play Survivor's Reward. Play this card immediately after your move. Play when you have only 1 or 2 pawns left on the board. I have 2 pawns left on the board. You may immediately promote them both, replacing them with any pieces except queens.
Well, there you go. I got to assume this is instead of your move.
After my move.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm just going to take from over there so we don't have to remember as
You can,
much.
well, you can pick whatever you'd like. I'm going to assume it's not going to be pawns.
I will not promote the pawn to a pawn. We'll do a little bit better than that.
Causes a bit of a stagnation.
Yeah. So we will promote this pawn to a rook.
Mm-hmm.
And we will promote this pawn to a bishop. And we'll draw another card. I like how some of the cards are so oppositely named. It's Scorched Earth and Peace Talks.
On your turn,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get rid of this.
I'm just discarding.
Yeah.
Dark Mirror, on this move, one of your pawns can capture by moving diagonally backward instead of forward.
Which makes all sorts of questions about, well,
But, if
but he couldn't capture by moving either of those directions.
I just take it at face value.
Oh, Jeebus.
yeah, especially since it's for just a turn,
Right.
I would say, okay, for this turn, instead of his normal movement, which is probably how I would reword the card, instead of his normal movement,
Yes, you may do it backwards. That is
you,
how.
you may capture diagonal backward instead of its normal movement.
Well, you may capture reverse instead of your normal. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, that'd be a good way because you don't know what other
Yeah.
things are going on the board.
Depends on the intent, because if you just say diagonally backwards, then you know it's not stacking with anything else that's happened to it.
Mm-hmm.
But since there's no pawns left on the table
Yes.
at all,
We're not really doing
we're
that
not doing that
today.
anymore. Like, on your turn, since I'm not, well,
Let me do the turn.
yeah,
All right. This knight's taking this queen again.
okay. I'm discarding a card that plays when your opponent promotes a pawn, since there are no pawns.
I don't think this one's going to work. No. So it's a real great move. Yeah, I guess. If I don't have anything else. Did I use a card here?
You didn't. You just.
I didn't. So, Jimmy,
Well, what do
Jimmy,
you got?
just look up for a second.
Actually, I'm not supposed to look at the board.
Don't look at the board.
Wait a minute. Hang on. There's a screen over here too.
Just
All right, hang on.
ceiling.
I'm not looking.
The card is called Abduction.
Oh no.
Your opponent must look away from the board for 10
For
seconds
10 whole seconds.
as you remove any one of his pieces except the king.
Okay.
He then has 10 seconds to look at the board and state what piece you removed and which square it occupied.
Okay.
If he remembers correctly, the piece is put back in its place. If not, it is
All
captured.
right. When does my 10 seconds start?
So I have I have to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
You ready?
basically, yeah, cover your eyes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Look at the board, tell me. 1, 2, 3, 4,
It was
5,
Oh, it was the
6,
bishop I just made.
7. Correct. Now, it didn't cost me anything, and I was going to discard it anyway because there's too few pieces for you not to be able to go,
Right,
well, that
right.
one.
But that can definitely be tricky, especially earlier in the game.
Right.
All right. On your turn, I'm discarding another card that operates on pawns.
There's a couple of them, and that's the reason you need those discards. Otherwise, you could
You get stuck
wind up with a
handful.
hand of just trash. Literal nothing I can do.
All right,
This
my turn.
this is a terrible card. This card right here is just not okay. I get it. I get it. It's low cost too.
And I'm in check.
You are in check again.
Okay. Do I have anything here that can do a thing? Instead of making a move, I could do that. After a move, before a move. But useless now. No. Instead of making a move. Okay. All right, well, let's do this then. If we're in check and a lot of our stuff's instead of making a move, let's just go with one of these. Demotion. Replace one of your opponent's pieces, except a king or a queen, with one of his captured pawns.
Hey, we got pawns back.
Yeah, the lack of pawns. Your knight is now demoted to a pawn,
That's true.
which takes me out of check.
Sure do.
All right, your turn.
All right, Frenzo. Kind of tired of your business?
Yeah, I can see there are some elements similar to the gathering card game. It does have a way to construct a deck and do a lot of things like that to change up the board.
Do I want to?
I believe it postdates the origin of that. Well, our version does. I don't know when the original French, because originally this was a French game.
Yeah.
I don't know how old that is off the top of my head.
I can't play a card that would cause check mate, right?
Right, you can't checkmate with a card unless the card says you can.
What if the checkmate allows me to move and then the moves allow it?
You basically can't. The card can't. If it's a play before move card that puts stuff into check, you can't then follow up with checkmate.
I have a card. You know what? I'm going to play it anyway.
Okay.
We're going to stop talking about it and start doing it.
Just do it and let's see.
The card is called Brothers in Arms.
Okay.
Move two of your pieces of the same kind simultaneously. Either or both may capture. Play this card on your turn instead of making a regular move. So my plan is for these two queens to march forward and take these two pieces.
Okay.
This will put you in check. You aren't in checkmate, so you can walk out of it. But if I had placed both here, you would have nowhere to go. You would be in checkmate.
If both queens are here,
Yeah, both queens are there because he captures forward. So you can't move here, you can't move here, you can't move here. That is bishop controlled. You can't attack the bishop. You can't move backwards. So you couldn't. You would be in checkmate from the moving of the pieces.
I think
that's illegal, right?
That violates the rules near as I can tell.
Well, they're moving anyway. We're going to take this, and we're going to take this.
Okay. So that I am not in checkmate, just check from that piece.
You are in check.
Which is legal.
Which is, you can go show that one off. That's a beauty. I'm going to draw a card. Yep, that's trash.
Alrighty. Doesn't matter. That does not keep me out of check. That one won't either. That will buy me time, which is maybe all I can ask for right now. So we'll go ahead and do this. We will
This crab is dead.
move our knight there, blocking the route to the king.
Yeah, you did. You can toss this one.
And I will ditch a card that only operates on pawns, I believe. Or, no, accept that. Will that do anything for me? Run him up there? Just... Yeah, no, I'll just discard a card, draw another one. Hope for something better. Your turn.
Ugh, your position's not good, Jimmy.
Nope, nope.
My queen takes your knight and you're back in check.
Kind of running out of tricks now.
Oh, and I'm going to discard phalanx because I don't really want it to happen. It's the one that
Pawns
lets you...
captured by moving forward. And...
It's it's already happening.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
Won't
just
really-
going to discard that.
Won't really do anything there.
Well, he's right where he wants to. I want him to capture by moving forward now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think the only move I've got right now is to step the king. Oh no, I can't put him there. That's also check. That's also check. Is this mate actually? Can't go there. You can't
No,
go there.
you
Oh, I'm
can-
sorry. I can. I've got.
There is a spot.
Yeah. That's right. That's one I was actually looking at. So if I go there, that will again. It's just a delay, but I guess that's what we're gonna go with.
Yeah, I think it's loss. Because when I do this, there's a spot for you to go, but that's it. Check.
And so I believe I have to keep marching. Well, on your turn, I'm going to discard this card and draw a new one.
May I read the Medusa card? I have. Nope. Okay. That'd be really interesting.
I think the only choice I've got is to go ahead and that's danger, that's death, that's death, that's death.
You got a spot to
Death, death.
stand in.
So I have to just march this direction.
You do.
And we did. We did. I think that might be it. Um,
I think that's it unless there's...
is it after my turn? Oh, it's instead of making a regular move. I should have played that card.
Go back and do it if you want.
Okay. We'll go back and do that then. I think this is the only thing that makes it last more than one more turn. Death Dance. Play this card on your turn instead of making a regular move. Exchange the position of any of your pieces with an adjacent enemy piece. I believe we Death Dance these two. Which just stalls.
It's
I
just a
think.
stall, I believe, because it's the same. Yeah, it's
It's the same
you,
thing.
you have indeed one less check.
Oh wait, hang on. You can't make that move.
Why?
Wait, yes, you can. Never mind. Never mind.
I'm
I mixed up some pieces that were on the board.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
it's looking good for me now. You had me until you twisted the board 90 degrees.
Yeah.
It made it much more interesting, but
it was an interesting. I said it. It was an interesting move. I didn't know if it was a good move, but it was an interesting. Move.
None of my relevant pieces could move. It would...
On your turn, I'm discarding a card. One of your pawns. Good. I'm going to an opponent. Nope, that doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. Does it? No. No, I believe.
Some of these are just rules. It's the rules lawyer in me who says that's the rules lawyer who writes rules to help get around rules lawyering says. But it doesn't, but it does.
But it does.
But it doesn't, but it does. I'm going to play a card on my turn that I know I shouldn't be allowed to play.
All right, I think
You got one spot you can move.
I have to move here.
And then when I
And
move,
I'm going to discard a card on my turn because these aren't helpful. Again, using these specific pieces. I don't. None of those are on the board anymore. Your turn.
to my knowledge, once I'm standing here with this queen, you have nowhere you can go.
Standing here.
Yeah. Because
That's out.
she's protected by the other queen. You can't go that way. You can't go that way.
That's still a kill zone.
All of these are no good, and then all of the spaces immediately around the queen
I
are no
believe that'll be
good.
checkmate.
And she is... Watch this. I move. Jimmy,
Yeah.
panic.
Uh-oh.
Your opponent has 15 seconds to take his next turn. If he does not move within this time, he loses his turn.
All right.
I am nearly certain.
Well, I'm discarding a card on your turn, drawing a card on your turn.
Sure.
Reading it quickly.
2, 3,
Not useful.
4, 5.
Not useful. Not
6.
useful.
You can't play this card here. 7, 8, 9,
Pawns.
10,
That's checkmate because there's
11.
no good
There's
moves.
no, unless you had a way to remove this queen, which you've done multiple times.
There have been many ways to do it. I do have a card that affects the queens, but only limits how they move going forward, which will not help right now.
I was so hoping. There's just busted cards. This card couldn't be played there, I believe, because it would have caused Jimmy to be put into checkmate, and that's not a thing.
Yeah. I was looking forward to finding a good use for this one, neutrality. One of your opponent's pieces, except a king or queen, becomes neutral. Place a marker under it. It can be moved or captured by either player, can check either king, it can capture pieces of any color at any time it's moved. It just becomes a shared piece that both players can use.
I thought about confabulating my stone piece here. Confabulation, make an otherwise legal move, which puts... Oh, no, this is... Okay. Which puts two of your pieces, other than knights, other than kings, on the same square. They merge into a new piece. It can move and capture like either one of them and is affected by any card that affects either of them. Move the two pieces together. Confabulated pawns cannot promote. So the problem would have been
link them together.
I could link two pieces together and then neither of them can move.
Right.
Yay!
Oh, yeah, and folks, that is a way Knightmare Chess plays out. It is a nice board. This is Eric's board he brought in from home, I believe.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
nice
something
set.
we sell.
Yeah, nice set. But so this is Knightmare Chess. Again, it is available on Warehouse 23 right now. On Kickstarter, we are doing a Kickstarter project for a book of the collected articles that we have made over the years about the game, articles, alternate rule sets, that sort of thing, in both PDF and in physical format. And you can also pick up a copy of Knightmare Chess with the Kickstarter as a whole package deal if you want to, or just the book.
And again, this new Nightmare Chess is both of the old ones.
It is both the old ones, Knightmare Chess and Knightmare Chess 2 put together, so you get a
So-
big, thick stack
Oh, yeah,
of cards.
There's replayability in this,
There's tons of replayability in this. It's a fun game.
and I gotta
And
say,
it turns the game on its head.
I enjoyed
basically,
it
sometimes
much.
literally.
I enjoyed it much more than just regular chess. And you had me until you turned the board 90 degrees. I was done. When every card you draw is this piece can't move. This piece can't move under these conditions.
We did miss one of my favorite ones, which is Fireball, which a piece moves, then blows up and takes out every adjacent piece,
Yeah.
including itself.
Our
But
board-
that's what we've got time for today, folks. So thanks for dropping into SJGames Live. Go check out the Kickstarter. It ends in 5 days. Get in on this and all the variant rules and everything else we've published over the years, and we will see you guys again next week. Thanks for dropping by, everybody.
Bye.